Hello there, it's Josh here from racingtoprofit.co.uk. This video is aimed at any new members or anyone who still doesn't have a clue what the hell is going on in section 1 and what the hell is going on with the 4 strategies I advise that you look at and work out whether or not you want to follow any of them, starting small and building up over time. I'm going to try and keep this snappy. I'm on 24 seconds already. I want it to be under 10 minutes because some feedback is that I can drone on at times and I really should get to the point. So I thought it would be a good idea just to focus on the 4 main strategies and quickly explain what is going on. Section 1, which is the core of everything that underpins the main strategies, is quite simple. For a horse to be listed in section 1, it has to hit one of the stats in my Trainer Track Profiles Jumps 2018-2019 stats. I'm looking at Saturday's post here. There is Bally Hill at Aintree. I scoot down here, horse runs this season, Nigel Twiston-Davies, 1 to 2 runs this season. That is why Bally Hill got listed against my stats. So that's hopefully simple. Hopefully you understand why a horse is listed in section 1. It has to have hit the stats that I researched before each main flat season, jump season, and summer jumps every year. In order to be detailed within section 1, the horse simply has to hit one of those trainer stats, and it's based on the trainer behavior and nothing to do with the horse. Next, please take your time to kind of acquaint yourself with the key. Hopefully, once you've done that, all the different numbers and letters and colours that appear next to the horse listed in section 1 isn't too much of a conundrum. The horses in section 1 are based on the trainer stats and trainer behaviour. They're not based on the ability of the horse. So when I started out this idea, I wanted to do a kind of fusion, I suppose. There's 3 rating sets that I use. I wanted to see if we could make this systematic game pay by adding in some more information which helps us in our quest. So if a horse above in section 1 is top rated or second or third rated, so top 3 rated on any of these 3 rating sets, they simply get that red symbol by their name, which isn't too difficult to understand. I hope not. So Bally Hill was either second or third rated in horse race base within that race. So he was within the top 3 ratings within that race, but he wasn't top rated, hence he got a H3. Yautari, or however we pronounce Venetia Williams' horse there, he came second, I believe, was a H1. On horse race base ratings, he was top rated within that race using the methodology that they use. So on and so on. Inform ratings, Truckers Lodge was top 3. Truckers Lodge was top rated on GG speed ratings. So that's what the green symbols are. It's added information about the horse's ability within the context of their race, added to my trainer stats qualifiers. So we get a fusion, which gives us a better chance of making this game pay in the long run. Touch wood. I then add W2s and W1s as per the key. A W1 is a stats qualifier that won last time out. And that's one of the strategies, as simple as that. There's a W2, the horse won 2 starts ago. There's some green trainer form information as per the key here. They don't influence any strategies as such, but that's just added information to use or ignore as you please, especially if using my stats qualifiers to help pick out your own bets. Finally, we have the elite squad. So this is all the information that's listed when I first post section 1, usually the evening before by 6 p.m. The elite squad is simply any horse that has an ES plus purple symbol next to its name indicates that the stat they hit in my trainer track profiles report here, it indicates that the stat they hit there was a decent one in the sense that it had at least 10 winners in the research period and a 25% or winner or higher winning strike rate. Hence they're called the elite squad, or what I like to think of as the best of my stats qualifiers. So that information is listed the evening before. On the morning, as I've done every day since the members club began, I add a generally available morning price. That helps consistency with the results, but the point is that price then helps indicate what strategies are what. And now we come to the strategies. There are 4 I advise flicking through and working out if you want to start with any of them. They are within the advised, the jump strategies, where should you start link that's within the key. The key can be found within every daily members post. Please take your time to read through it and flick through it if you want to get the best out of your time here within my members club, if you want to follow any of the systematic strategies, which of course is just one idea within the portfolio approach of the Racing to Profit members club. The welcome video I advise you to watch. The welcome email, please read. And if you don't watch that and you don't read that and you haven't bothered flicking through the advised strategies document here, then you're not going to have a clue what's going on. And understandably, you're not going to know what the different strategies are. So if you have any interest in making that element of my approach work and pay, please take your time just to read through this members club document here. It's only 3 pages or so. It explains the 4 strategies, it explains the rules, which I would hope are quite straightforward, and that's that really. So in the simple terms, all you have to do, even before you understand why a strategy is a strategy, once I've added the prices on the morning of racing, you just need to look for 4 symbols. You need to look for a W1 if you want to follow the last time out winners. You need to look for a S3A hash, which as per the rules described there explains why one of those is one of those. The actual information you need is available the evening before if you take the time to work out what makes a strategy 3A hash qualifier. But you can just wait until the morning of racing and look for an S3A hash. I'm using Saturday's post here where there were no such qualifiers, but that's all you're looking for, an S3A hash in bold. You're then looking for an S2A as per top and drop, indicating my stats qualifier on the morning of racing, and the prices I've added were generally 16 to 1 to 25 to 1. So that's all you're looking for, an S2A. We've done W1, we've done S3A hash, we've done S2A, so that just leaves S1, which is arguably the most complicated of them, but I would like to think isn't overly difficult. Please take the time to read the rules here and why a horse qualifies. A horse qualifies if it's listed in section 1, has a GG speed rating, a G1 or a G3, and the horse qualifies if priced 10 to 1 or bigger on morning prices I enter around 8 AM. Or the horse also qualifies if 11.00 or bigger at Betfair starting price. That angle covers any of those that drift. So if we use Saturday's example, there were no S1s that qualified on the morning prices. Let's take Wigwam Wiggle as an example. His price is not 10 to 1 or bigger on the price I've entered here. He has a G3. Therefore, he is possibly an S1 qualifier. He would have been S1 off the bat if 10 to 1 or bigger on morning odds, but he's not. So in order to cover him, if he is a qualifier, we simply set the price within Betfair, starting price of 11 as a minimum. So the bet will only be placed if the Betfair SP is 11.00 or 10 to 1, as decimal odds in Betfair, or bigger at Betfair starting price. That's it. That's simply what an S1 is. Horse listed in section 1 has a red G1 or a G3, is either 10 to 1 or bigger on morning odds, and then you'll see a black S1 if that was the case. Or if it's under 10 to 1, you simply set minimum odds within Betfair, which you can do if you go to Betfair or another exchange, but I'd advise using Betfair. Horse racing, I'm going to use an example here. I'm recording this at 5:30 on the 10th of December. Let's just jump to the 6 o'clock at Wolverhampton. Let's pretend your call was Wigwam Wiggle for a moment. You've got the Betfair SP there. You click the SP button there. In this top right hand corner you can see a box which says set SP odds limit. I set that to 11. I put my stake in, I place bet. And your call, or thinking about him as Wigwam Wiggle, the bet would only be placed if his Betfair SP was 11.00 or bigger. That's it. It's as easy as that. All you need to do, as I tick around the 10 minutes here, is flick through and read this welcome document here which explains what the 4 strategies are. I hope that, or fingers crossed, I can't explain the rules any more simple than I have done there. They're pretty straightforward once you take the time to read them. As I said, as a starting point, the horse has to hit my trainer track profile stats to get listed. What's put in the brackets here indicates the stat they hit. We then add all these other ingredients which are explained in the key. They all help us, give us a greater chance of being successful over time with a systematic approach. Okay, and then you're just looking for four things. You're looking for a brown W1, then you're looking for an S1, a black S1, or this note as added on the morning, S1 there, only if 11 or bigger bet for SP. You read that, you go to Betfair, you set that minimum price as I've just shown. 2, you're looking for S2A, listed there, Prime Venture S2A. I'm following S2A, I'm doing it each way. There's Prime Venture, there's S2A, he's 25 to 1 morning odds, therefore he falls within 16 to 1 or 25 to 1 on morning odds. Bet if you're following that strategy or have decided to follow it. Finally, then you'll look for an S3A hash, which isn't on here, but it'll be in bold, it'll be in black. You're just looking for that. You're looking for those four symbols in section 1. I would like to think it is not too much of you to ask to log in, to go to section 1 and simply look for those four things next to the horse and work out whether or not you want to bet. So that's all I'm going to focus on in this video. Hopefully section 1 is clear there. There's the four strategies, all based on the horses listed against my trainer stats in the trainer track qualifiers report. There's some other things added as per the key, and then I add the morning price, and that determines whether a horse, for those that are price sensitive, qualify against the strategies or not. That's as simple as I can make it. Please, like I said, read this report, get your head around the rules, because if you use a generally available, well, odds checker or something, all of the information is there you need the evening before if that's the time that you bet. Clearly there will be some price differences sometimes. I'm pretty sure it all evens out over time. You'll generally back the strategy qualifiers as they are on the morning of racing. Sometimes you might back more winners and vice versa. But if you want to keep it simple and you want to reflect the results I've done, wait until the morning when I update results around 8:15 or 8 AM to 8:15. And look for the symbols as just described and place your bets. S1 and S2A are big odds strategies, meaning they can have losing runs. S3A is much more focused, and if you want to start on one, I would start on that. Last time out winners is another option with a higher win strike rate, around 25%. You can read there a brief note on how you can play them. There's the table here about winning strike rates and losing runs. If you're successful in whatever you do at racing, even if it's not within my members club, if you're following a tipster service, if you're just finding your own horses, if you're following another system, they will all have losing runs, and you must have adequate banks and start at a level that ensures you can get through them, which of course is linked to having confidence in the strategy. The final thing I will say, if you just want to focus on 2, focus on S1 and S3A hash. And why do I say that? That's because those two strategies combine my stats qualifiers and the ratings pointers, those red symbols as per the key. So we have the best of both worlds. We have a fusion whereby we have my stats qualifiers. We then have how the horse performs within that race against these rating sets. So we have information about the ability of the horse. We combine those two things, so we have a fusion. Now those rating sets are a constant. That's why I suppose their methodologies are constant, how they look at those races. I suppose that's why I have most confidence in them, if that's where you want to start with, because it combines the best of my trainer stats, or my trainer stats research, I should say, with the rating sets and the ratings pointers. And in theory, logically, because these two strategies have done well in live play, and because of how they're made with my trainer stats and the ratings pointers, there's every chance that they will continue to tick along over time moving forwards. And I think I will leave it there. I have confidence in all 4 of those strategies, but you can use the information I've just described however you please. And that will be that. I've ticked round to 14 minutes. I know I've just kept repeating the same thing again and again there, but that was quite deliberate. Hopefully it's clear. But please, if it's not, post a comment in this blog post below this video or email me using the email contact email here. Once you've got your head around it, I would like to think it's all fairly straightforward what's going on in section 1. The rest of the sections I would like to think are self-explanatory, but I'm not going to go into those now. Those 4 strategies are the place you can start. Betting small and will give you a good foundation moving forwards. I think I've probably been talking for long enough, but I've covered everything I need to cover there in section 1 and the 4 strategies. So hopefully you found that of some use. Thanks for watching, but if not, do send me an email. But read through the key, read through the links in the key, read through the advised jump strategies, where to begin, and hopefully it all makes sense, knowing that every horse listed in section 1 qualifies against my training track profiles report, and that is the foundation from then everything that follows in terms of the strategy. So with that said, I will leave you in peace. Thanks for watching. I hope you found that of some use, and this is Josh saying bye for now.